Hello everyone, this is Nancy Rebecca, and today I am talking about the human aura and just how dynamic the human aura is. So let me start off by talking about just the shape of your aura. We've seen pictures where it's actually like this egg shape that is 1 to 2 feet high above your head, below your feet, side to side, front and back. In this kind of egg shape aura, it's like this electrical energy field where there's this membrane on the outside, and in that membrane there's millions and billions and trillions of little receptor sites that help bring in information from the outside world, and then it kind of gets translated and it passes through, and then that information comes into you in the form of conscious awareness. And also, when you send information out, it goes out through your aura, out through that auric membrane, and out through to the world. And so many of us, if we're sensitive to that information that's coming in, we can be called intuitive, we can be called psychic, but it's actually just science. It's information coming in, information going out. So let's think about this information in the form of having your computer or your telephone and Wi-Fi. We can't see Wi-Fi. We can't see, like right now you're watching this video, and I assume that you have Wi-Fi that's just kind of not connected to any cable to a wall. It's not like it's coming through a plug, it's just coming through the airwaves. It's coming into your phone, and it's coming in through coding, like a mathematical coding that's then translated by your computer or your phone into usable information for you to take in and hear, just like this video. So our auric field is the same, but it's, oh my gosh, it's like a million times more dynamic than that with the amount of information that's coming in. So it's not just information that we can see and touch, but it's kind of that subtle information we may not totally understand. Like if you walk into a room and you're like, wow, it feels really chaotic in here, or oh, it feels really angry, or there's a lot of fear in this room. We'll kind of hear people say things like that. Well, how do you pick up that data? Well, that fear gets picked up through the auric field, and then you can feel that fear in your body. Or if you're having fear, you can radiate that out. Or if you're feeling angry, you can radiate out that anger out through your auric field. So the aura, it's very, very dynamic, and it picks up data. That's its main information. However, as a nurse, when I was in nursing school, I was taught that your skin is your first line of defense. So what does that mean? That means if your skin is healthy, it creates this nice healthy barrier that filter out bacteria and viruses, infections. But if your skin's not healthy, or it's very thin, like paper thin, then it's easier for you to pick up illnesses. Well, the auric field is the same. If your auric field is not healthy, it's more permeable. Information can come through that can be distorted. You can pick up bacteria or viruses. You can pick up other people's energy if your energy field is not healthy. So that's why I like to teach these videos, to teach you kind of some simple ways that you can keep your aura healthy. And after this video, I will do a guided meditation so that you can learn how to work with your own aura. There's several types of aura that I'm used to seeing when a client comes to see me. I'm going to look at their energy field. They're going to tell me what they're working on, but I'll be able to see kind of what's going on just based on their aura. It's called an aura reading. So one type of aura, I kind of describe it as the light bulb aura, where the auric field is quite large above and around the head, but around the hips and the legs it's wrapped really tight. So it has that shape of kind of thinner at the bottom and then bulging at the top. Well, the reason why the aura will bulge like this, I say, oh, you're a real head case. You must be in your head a lot, because there's all this energy is caught and kind of trapped up at the upper parts of your chakras, your aura, and it's just bulging with mental processing, mental worrying, mental information. And so one of the things to help kind of relieve that busy head is to make sure that your aura down at the bottom is expanded to take some of that pressure off of the head. Of course, you can do that through a meditation, but just going out for a walk actually helps with that, or a run, or exercising. I call it kind of discharging excess energy. It helps pull that energy to the lower part of your body. There's another kind of auric shape I describe as the candy wrapper aura, and that's where it's twisted at the top, it's twisted at the bottom. I call that I can do it myself aura, where you disconnect from the earth, from all that information that comes from the earth that not only helps you to feel connected and grounded through your feet and your body to the earth, but it also prevents information like support, nourishment, nurturing that can come from the earth through earth energy. So you don't get that through the bottom of your feet. And then you can twist up the aura at the top. So it's just like that butterscotch or peppermint candy where the little plastic is twisted. So then you're not connected to spirit, your higher self, or you're not connected to God. It's like you're just a Mr. or Mrs. Independence, totally independent, can do everything yourself. And again, this works until it stops working. And eventually it will stop working, where you reach a point in your life where you just can't grow or learn anymore unless you're connected to the earth and you're connected to the divine, that higher source of wisdom. And so you can untwist the aura and you can learn how to do that. But if you don't look at the underlying reasons about why you began to kind of disconnect in the first place or pull away and be super independent, I mean, it can be that you had to grow up very quickly as a child, or maybe you didn't feel like you could rely on the adults around you, so you had to become super independent. And then there's just, as a baby, you could just be born that way. You were just born super independent. And so you can kind of close yourself off. So again, learning about how to expand your aura and untwist it will just help you feel more vibrant, alive, and you'll have more information coming into you, because when you untwist it, you increase the surface area of your aura, so you have more data receptor sites coming in. Headaches. A lot of people get headaches. So sometimes the aura doesn't come up over the top of the head. So you can imagine when there's energy coming in, if it doesn't bounce off the aura, it just comes right into your head. So you get all this kind of pounding energy to your head all the time, and then that can create a headache. Sometimes the aura can be really tight. I call it, put your thinking cap on. It's like that cap is really tight on top of the head. Well, what that ends up doing, if your aura is just right here on top of your head, your spirit is above. So you want your aura to include your spirit so that you have the spiritual perspective in life. So that tight aura on top of the head can cause tension headaches as well. Falls and car accidents. If you fall on the ground, it can knock your aura to the left or to the right. If you have a car accident, you've been rear-ended, your aura can be thrown forward. And often I will hear people say, boy, I've been rear-ended 3 times. Well, if your aura gets knocked forward, there's no auric field in the back. Your aura actually signals the car behind you to slow down and stop. It can feel your energy field. But if your aura has been thrown forward, the car behind can't pick up that auric field, and then it just, that car can end up hitting the back of your car again. And so just fixing the aura, spreading it out, fluffing it out, expanding it can help other cars around you, even when you're driving, know to stop before it gets to your energy field. So there's a lot of different things about the aura that can impact your physical, mental, and emotional health as well. When someone has a lot of emotions, what does that do to the energy field? We have a lot of people who are very empathic, very emotional. The emotions can fill up in the aura if you don't let go of the emotions, or if you keep kind of swimming in the same memories that are causing you to be emotional, or if you just have a lot of grief, and that your aura can fill up with, it's kind of like a wet blanket. It's just like this heavy, dense energy. So you definitely want to be well grounded so you can drain off those old, outdated emotions or the excess emotion so your aura doesn't flood and get overwhelmed. So when data comes into an emotional, wet aura, it still comes through to you, but it can come really slowly. So if you're wanting to have that intuitive information, you're wondering, why does it come delayed? Why does it take so long? It can be because you just have a lot of emotional wetness in your aura. Mental energy. Let's talk about it can cause your aura to be quite tight, and mental energy or fear energy, over analysis energy, worry, it can cause you to be quite contracted and tight. Now, mental energy is very metal. It can cause your aura to be very stiff, rigid. We call it, you are limited by your own mind to be more open-minded, to expand, because that aura filled with mental energy, it's like metal, it's just unmoving, unbending. And so being able to kind of soften that, rinse out that mental energy, can help expand it so that, again, you can get more data into your aura. Another thing is that the aura can get tears and holes, or it can be open in different areas, open above the head or the feet. And so you want to be able to repair those tears and holes. So I have a little story to share about that. My mother had a friend who ended up having a day surgery. It was a very, very minor day surgery, and she came to spend the night at my mother's house just in case she needed anything. My mother would be there available to help her out. I got a call from my mother a few hours later that her friend was vomiting nonstop. She had severe nausea and she just kept vomiting over and over, and then she was having dry heaves. The doctor had already called in a prescription for an antiemetic, which means medication to help with the nausea and to help her to stop throwing up. But even that wasn't helping. So I went over to see if I could help as a nurse and as a healer. And when I got there, I took a look at her friend's aura, and I found that there was an area over her arm where it was like a little pinhole of an opening. So just like a little balloon that's filled with air that has a little pinhole, you can feel that air blowing out of it. That's exactly what I felt in her aura. And as I followed that pinhole through her aura, I found the place in her arm where she had had the IV needle to help give her fluids for the procedure. So yeah, they had put a Band-Aid over the hole, but there was still the hole in the aura. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but I thought, oh, she's losing energy through this hole in her aura. I can feel it like this cool blowing air. So as soon as I smoothed it over with a little bit of golden energy, it sealed up. Her nausea immediately went away. She stopped throwing up. She felt better, and it didn't come back again. And so as a nurse, you can imagine, I found that quite shocking. I was really surprised by that. But I was also very excited because it was just another validation about how important a healthy aura is, and keeping it repaired. So let's see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. There's a million things I could talk about in relationship to the aura. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Your aura can expand and be as big as the size of Texas. And I say everything that's in your aura is in your reality. So if your aura is a city block wide, that means that everyone, whether it's apartment buildings or houses, you can feel all those other people's energy. And you don't know what is your worry and what is not your worry. You don't know what's your sadness and what's not your sadness. Your aura is so big that you're getting the data from hundreds of people that live in that city block. And it can be very confusing to you. You don't know which way's up, which way's down. So you definitely want your aura about 1 to 2 feet kind of away from your body. If you extend your arms out to the side and wiggle your fingers, that's about where the edge of your aura should be. Another thing that we do, some people do as a defense mechanism or protective mechanism, is they pull their aura tight inside. They want to make themselves small. So like for example, if you're just having an off day and you feel like being curled up on the couch in a little ball, you've got your knees drawn up, your arms around your knees, your chin's down to your chest, it's probably highly likely that your aura is pulled, I call it either shrink wrap tight to your body or it's pulled inside of your body. You just feel like pulling away from the world and making yourself really small. One of the things with like autoimmune disorders, I see this often, especially with fibromyalgia. I would say a good 98% of the time, the first thing that I'm going to look at is to see where their aura is, and it's usually pulled inside the body. So remember when I said when the aura doesn't go over the head, you can get headaches because you're getting hit with energy. It's the same when your aura is pulled inside your body. You just feel these waves of energy bombarding your physical body all the time. So with fibromyalgia, they have full body pain. So the first thing that I do when I'm working with someone with fibromyalgia is I'm teaching them like a golden parachute. You're going to fluff your aura out until it's 1 to 2 feet around you. But for some people with fibromyalgia, that feels too vulnerable. It feels too expansive. And they feel extra sensitive. So it's not, even though it's a quick, easy fix, the aura is going to pull back inside unless you deal with those underlying issues that cause you to want to pull in the first place. So you need to sometimes look into childhood experiences and things like that. Working with a therapist can really help with that, or working with an energy worker, an aura reader, who can help you to expand that aura and look at the energetic underlying reasons that cause you to pull in the first place. So as you can tell, there's a lot of information that you get through the aura, and there's a lot of ways that the health of your aura impacts how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So if you want to learn how to repair your own aura, then just go to the next video where I do a guided meditation to help you do that. Now, when we leave for the day, we want to make sure our hair is in place. We want to make sure our clothes look nice, that we have our shoes on, that we have our makeup on, or whatever it is that we're doing. We want to make sure we look nice. Well, let's add a healthy energy field to that list every day. You can do it in just a few minutes, and in this next video, I will teach you how. So thank you again, everyone, for really valuing learning more about the importance of your own human energy field, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.